The end of chapter 402 is Wednesday at 8:50 a.m. Melody mentioned the ninth prince fainting. So at the beginning of chapter 403, reviewing the causes and consequences of the ninth prince's fainting. The time at this time is 6:45 a.m. on the 11th day of the voyage. At the entrance to the courthouse of the Ministry of Justice building on the second floor, we saw the figure of Balusa, the captain of Benjamin's four-shooter army. Because the ninth prince was reported by Balusa the day before, Benjamin's 4 archers were killed by the ninth prince 3 times in a row. Later, he was taken away by Sedena, who had obtained the international ferry permission. Administrative detention. It's time for the public trial today. Balusa thought to herself as she passed the security check. There are no private shooters from the ninth prince around the court. The guard who originally stayed in room 1009, under surveillance in VVIP area. Soldiers other than this were recertified, scattered below 3 floors, in response to the frequent serial killings below the 3rd floor. Now the ninth prince can produce partners with super strong abilities. None. On trial, because the ninth prince will sit directly on the interrogation table. Therefore, he will inevitably be within the 100% fatal infection range. Although judges and defense lawyers will also face the risk of infection. But because of their distance from the source of infection, their probability of infection will not exceed 2%. Since there were no other audience members present, therefore, the possibility of large-scale infection is extremely low. But in case of special circumstances, will be controlled through special ring guidance. Balusa is planning to interrogate the details of the assassination of the ninth prince later. In a narrow corridor, suddenly I felt someone following behind me. Turning around, I discovered that it was Victor, a soldier from Sri Lanka. He is watching eagerly. Stare at yourself. Balusa was surprised. From the beginning of travel, Victor was sent to monitor the 12th prince Meng Muse. Later, because Meng Muse was killed, and the Sri Lanka soldier Sakaku, who originally monitored the ninth prince, committed suicide. So Victor was sent by Benjamin to monitor the ninth prince. But later I learned through the intercom, Victor was also attacked by the ninth prince. Although there is no death, but lost contact. Peering here now. What the hell is going on? At the same time, the familiar roar came again. Balusa was even more surprised. This is impossible. Now the ninth prince doesn't have any four-shooting soldiers around him. Where does this power come from? And Victor, in front of him, started to sign to Balusa. Balusa recognized it immediately. This is military sign language. Could it be that Victor couldn't speak at this time? Can only sign language. The secret of the ninth prince's ability has been revealed. By the way, a suggestion. Victor's gesture. Just like Balusa said, this is military sign language. The thumb and index finger of the left hand are extended. Represents preparation or positioning. The shape formed by the thumb and index finger, in some tactical sign language, also indicates direction. Tighten the ring finger of your right hand. The rest of the fingers are exposed. This gesture can indicate action or waiting for a command. And on the other side of the corridor corner, a huge wave of energy began to surge. It's the ninth prince who is activating his telekinesis ability, and the people around him, judging from the dress, not a four-shooter, more like his other possessors. The 9 princes gathered their strength, transformed into a bow and arrow, and weighing Balusa's position in his heart. Balusa is 11.9 meters away from the 2 people in front of him, 25 meters vertically, 11.9 meters horizontally. In order to adjust the injection angle to 26 degrees, need to move forward 60 centimeters. Then the 9th prince said the name of the ability, a bit middle class. The young man shot out a cruel sword. About the floor plan of this launch. Let me show it to you again. Balusa in the narrow aisle, being blocked by Victor from behind. In front are 2 unrelated people. The distance between Balusa and the 2 individuals is 11.9 meters. The distance between Jubongzi and these 2 people, after shrinking by 60 centimeters, it is 24.4 meters. According to trigonometric functions, it can be known. This angle is what the 9th prince said, 26 degrees. It also echoes the previous description of the 9th prince. Excellent performance in both physics and archery. And it can be seen from here. The ability of this arrow is that it can pass through walls and hit enemies. Balusa in the narrow aisle. You can't see where the 9th prince's arrow came from at all. Just hit by 1 blow. The scene turned to Benjamin's room. Benjamin calls the court again. Has the trial started yet? Yes. Both parties have submitted requests to change the start time of the palace trial. Both sides. What is the reason? The plaintiff's reason is that there was insufficient preparation due to equipment failure. But this reason was rejected by the judge. The defendant's reason is, the defendant himself is unwell. This reason is recognized. The trial will begin after physical recovery. Benjamin heard this, getting a little confused, whispering in my heart, is the equipment failure because the task was not performed? No. Before that, the ninth prince's ability has obviously been activated. It should be an attack on Balusa. But why was it obviously Balusa who was attacked? But the ninth prince became unwell. And the strange thing is, why can he activate his abilities? Independently activated. No, this is impossible. Is it a lose-lose situation? Balusa noticed that after the ninth prince's ability was activated, immediately used assassination weapons. If that's the case, symptoms after being hit by an assassination weapon appeared too early too. There must be other reasons. Benjamin theory. If there is any information about the health status of ninth prince, please tell me. The person on the other end of the phone replies. It is said that he suddenly felt unwell and fell down on the spot. He is currently resting in the infirmary. Stable condition. By the way, was anyone else around the ninth prince at that time? Yes. There are more than a dozen supporters of the ninth prince beside him. There are still a few people in the infirmary continuing to take care of him. Benjamin thought to himself, so this is it. Supporters assisted in the activation of the ninth prince's abilities. As long as these people are loyal enough, no matter if they are the ninth prince's shooters or not, it does not affect the ability to activate. Suddenly the person on the other end of the phone said, Balusa comes. Says he wants to talk to Benjamin. Benjamin thought, this is most likely a trap. The ninth prince's condition is fake. It is very likely that Balusa was attacked by the ninth prince. You don't want to talk to me now out of your own volition. That is to say, the ninth prince's ability is a mandatory type of operating system. Balusa said during the Sakaku incident, the operating system has a rule that the first mover must win. This works against a single opponent, but when faced with a strong-willed group that unites and cooperates, very likely to fail. What will the manipulated Balusa say to me now? Show me what you're capable of. Then the two of them got on the phone. Let's just say the conclusion. The task is not completed yet, because there is something wrong with the ninth prince. The trial was postponed. Did you hear the news just now? Of course, at that time, the sword produced by the power of telekinesis was shot at me. But the attack missed its target, and the ninth prince lost consciousness on the spot. It is likely that within a short period of time, excessive continuous activation ability reaches its limit. Or maybe it's because we didn't use 4 shooter soldiers. Instead, ordinary people were used as assistants. This led to this loss of control. Benjamin replied. In other words, the time when the public trial starts again. Not sure yet? While thinking mentally, Balusa said this, although it is a seemingly reasonable explanation, but it was obvious that the ninth prince was pretending to be ill in order to postpone the trial. Balusa, if you return here without completing the task, I will regard you as conspiring with the ninth prince to launch a coup. I will issue special martial law. Clear you too. Balusa continued on the other end of the phone. Yes, but this is an opportunity. I hope to get permission to meet with the ninth prince. In the infirmary now, there should be many supporters of the ninth prince accompanying him. Is it okay? Benjamin replied. The on-site judgment is entirely left to you. My only request is the result. But whispering in my heart, Balusa said to go to the infirmary to carry out the mission. Are you just pretending? Are you trying to use this time to find opportunities to frame me? Balusa says, okay, I already understand. Since the ninth prince's ability has just been used, then I'm in a gray area that's very close to black. So before I completely complete my mission, I won't go back. Please convey this message to my subordinates as well. I will report to you the confirmed results within today. After the phone call, Benjamin thought, is what Balusa said true? No. Before confirming that the task is completely completed, he is still a suspect. This only makes me more suspicious that this is a trap. Called Benjamin to summon private soldiers. The roar just now was the ninth prince's attack on Balusa. Before finding out the truth, entering level 1 alert state. If Balusa does not contact us, just leave the Justice Bureau. Immediately issue a special martial law order. Emergency notification to the 2nd and 3rd floors. Not long after I finished my instructions, a soldier came in to report. Talk about the officials of the Ministry of Justice and the 11th Prince. There is something that needs to be delivered to Benjamin in person. Benjamin aloud. And towards candidates for senior positions in the Ministry of Justice. Before I became king. Objects requiring long-term negotiation. Use each other's information. Build good relationships. Is very helpful. At this time, the screen changes. Came to the room of the first Princess Wanma. She is talking to ninth prince. Yes. You don't have to worry. That'll be fine. The truth is your choice. I support you. Although we can't meet at the dinner. There will be some regrets. But I'm proud of you, ninth prince. My dear child. Then the scene continues to come to Benjamin. Receive the content of chapter 402. Benjamin looked at Kajal's letter. The content of the letter is narrated in Kajal's voice. The biological mother of the 9th prince is actually the 1st princess. People remain silent for fear of blasphemy. But as a dead man, I can say anything. So I want to bring it up specifically. There is a famous overseas website. The above statement is, in order to change the order of succession and protect the 9th prince from the assassination of his brothers. The 1st princess asked the 2nd princess secretly, but after the succession war begins, the line of succession has become almost meaningless. But if the rumors are true, will cause big problems. The 1st princess may be taking advantage of his power behind his back. Support 9th prince. Just because I am a dead person, I can still tell these things. Please take good care of the 11th prince. Benjamin looked at sexual content, but thinking about it. This is just a rumor, nothing to be surprised about, and spoke. This is just without any political intention. Very common content, no need to show it. With the departure of Caesar and Fugas, Benjamin thinks, the 10th prince is indeed smart. It's not surprising that he planned various things for his sister, but in the final analysis it's just bluff and speculation. Even with the 2nd and 3rd letters and physical evidence. I don't think that little girl either, with her political ability, can have more information than me. At this time Caesar was thinking, if possible, I would rather use the information involving the inheritance rod and the core of Yuangzi to shake Benjamin, but if suspected, the Justice Department may be involved. Even if it's just a little doubt, it will be counterproductive. Come on this trip. I just learned that the special advice order is likely to become a reality. It's already a huge gain. Then Caesar took Fulgate. He gave the letters to the 2nd prince in turn, 3rd prince, the 5th prince and the 6th prince. Afterwards, the 3 of them discussed together again. The 4th prince and the 13th prince did not receive the letter. In addition, there is the 9th prince who is undergoing treatment. I originally hoped that the 4th prince could also read it, but he refused directly. Sounds nice when you say that. In fact, he said it very simply. Throw it away, even if there is only one prince interested in the content of our correspondence. Then you'll earn it. Think of us as an intelligence agency. Use us more. Anyway, can sit on the mark in the 7th prince's master bedroom. This alone is already a great success. But the real test starts now. At this time, Fulgate was lying in the infirmary, thanks to Basho. Now Fulgate will not be haunted by evil spirits when he is alone. Let him have a good rest first. Restoring physical strength is the most important thing. Totally agree. The worst thing that can happen is at the critical moment. I am unable to use my abilities because I am forcing myself to do so. Let's have a good rest too. Action is scheduled for Thursday night. The screen comes to room 1014. Karapika said to Oit, in Inheritance Station, if anyone tries to leave the ship, what awaits you will be the death penalty. This shows that the ship is worthy of its name. Guru Lake. Sure enough, princes will fight until the last one. This battle can only continue. He does have huge telekinesis abilities, covered the whole ship, and imposes constraints that do not allow escape. This seems to mean something other than death. No other forms of disengagement are allowed. But I feel that people have the fire of hope. Her Royal Highness the Princess, to protect Prince Wobble and other young princes. I want to ask your permission for something. 3 Mencius here. He now has 8 coins in his hand. 7 of them have a face value of 1. 1 face value is 10. Currently, I have 7 coins created by Nien Beast in my hand. 3 of them have been transferred to others. The problem is that the original coin with the only face value. 1 of them turned into 10 today. Chol continued. I want to hear your opinions, because now I have no idea what happened. A coin is created one day, so there will be 10 coins in 10 days. Hypothesis that the coin will change after 10 days. Can be established. Yes. Then mark the date 10 days ago on 10 coins. In the future, newly generated coins will also be marked with the time of generation. In this way, the inference will be verified in 10 days at the latest. Any other discoveries? Transferred coins also need to be tracked and investigated to add value to coin holders, or to visualize a variable related to the growth of coin holders. Perhaps a simpler consideration. Is it to keep these changed coins in use? If the pattern of the coin increases every 10 days, so the current face value of the coin is 10, it will become 10,000 in a month. Chao Lai said. Oh indeed. The troubles in my heart have deepened. The mediocrity that the world has considered. Sure enough, the experience and knowledge of these guys. It is far from enough to speculate on the effect of this telekinesis ability, affecting the outcome of the succession war. It's information about the ability to remember. and the ability and effect of my mind beast to win. Sure enough, Kalapika is indispensable. Call room 1014. The other side is in the Ministry of Justice. Caesar and Ciudadina communicating. No problem. About the mass coma incident. I have collected relevant information from the Ninth Prince before. The Ninth Prince once said, "My supporters after meeting with me. A phenomenon similar to a collective coma may occur. But please don't worry. This is due to the joy of meeting and release from high tension. They will regain consciousness soon." Actually, there are reports of meetings between some of the prince's supporters, collapsed in the lounge at the same time. I heard that these supporters have recovered. Just like what the Ninth Prince said, there are no other abnormalities in their bodies. But in fact, I'm worried about another thing. There is also a staff member accompanying the meeting. Also at different times and places. I fell down with the same symptoms. This can't be an accident, right? Just in case. I'd better go meet and investigate in person. Where is that staff member now? In the name of observation, let him stay in his room. Caesar thought, this cannot be explained by chance. If we could find out the Ninth Prince's intentions and reach an agreement, so explain our situation truthfully, is also a choice. Got it. A comprehensive investigation will follow. Please tell me the staff member's name and room number. Wali Obey at 1 hour 6. Caesar thought to himself, but I'm not sure. I like the upright Ninth Prince. How will you see my action? Directly meet the Ninth Prince with unknown abilities. The risk is too high. Its true intentions can only be explored through the strength of its grip. Turn around. Caesar has arrived in the 16th life. Saw the grip. Caesar gets straight to the point. Please tell me truthfully what happened to the grip. In the Ministry of Justice. Just say it boldly. Indeed, at the taxi stand, someone used incredible abilities. Prince Stone also used this ability, trying to escape the ship. Result in death. It seems like a king's barrier has been set up on this ship. I don't waste time on lies and ambiguities. Superpowers do exist. Princes are using him as a weapon to fight. If he can protect the 11th Prince. In my capacity as acting chief inspector of the Ministry of Justice, support 9th Prince. Just finished. Wali raised the back of his hand and said, "This is the mark that the prince gave me. 9th Prince, let me take a look. Will you tell me about the ability to read? Did the prince anticipate my meeting with you?" "Yes." He said, "You can't have no doubt about the coma incident. If you don't ask to see him, that would show that you know the power of reading. You know everything clearly. The 9th Prince will die soon." Other side. Benjamin received a call from Belusa. "Is that true?" "Yes." "Mission accomplished. According to plan. I will inform you of the exact results tonight." At this time, the body of the 9th Prince, being cared for by his supporters. Caesar watched quietly from behind. The final perspective comes to Kula Pika. To make the letter public. Yes. Second session of reading ability training course. It will be the same as last time starting tomorrow. Notify all princes, and let them decide whether to participate. They will also be notified at that time that the letter will be made public. Of course, this letter is for you, princess. Instead of giving it to me, there are 3 reasons. First of all, to avoid unnecessary suspicion. In the letter of the upper prince, each other's scandals and crimes are exposed. If the next prince also masters the secret, may speed up the fight between them. Second, by conveying Prince Stone's thoughts. I want to put a little break on the inheritance station. Third, notify the matter in advance. It is expected to lead to some contacts with high-ranking princes. Of course, the chance of failure is also very high. But according to the prince who contacted, and the contents of the letter about the prince, it can also be done by postponing or canceling the disclosure of the realm. To negotiate. Not long after, Kurapika was invited by Chol. Came to room 1003 again.